Hey guys, I had an eventful morning. Um, and this ties into the story time I've been telling you about activity that happened in my home. Well, apparently they can mess with the security system and think it's hilarious. So I will tell my story time of what happened this morning. So I was minding my own business, doing 2 new videos out for you guys, and all of a sudden I hear this like high-pitched squeal, and I'm thinking the dog's hurt. So I'm like, oh crap, something's happened to the dog. Let me go see what's going on. So I go in and I'm searching, and the dog is fine. So I go back in and I'm doing my thing, and I'm getting started to clean and just keep, wash laundry, do dishes, and keep the sink from being decluttered or cluttered. And I'm trying to declutter it. And I start hearing this weird high-pitched noise. And the security system starts talking, and she's saying a bunch of stuff that I'm like, okay. At this point, I call my mom, and she had already gotten a call from our security company, and they're like, hey, do we need to go out? Something's not right. And so she talks to me when she gets here, because she's like, hey, you need to go and check on things. So my mom goes and she checks on things, and she's like, okay, it's not what I thought it would be. So mom asked me, hey, when the guy was here, did he offer to upgrade the full system? I said, yes, ma'am, and I thought he had, because he went to his truck and he got a different thing. And my mom said, well, they said it's not upgraded. Okay. So I'm like, okay, Casper is really messing with me today. I want to, if I could strangle the friendly ghost, I would. So I'm like, I want to strangle this dude. Please let me. Yeah, okay, so that was fun. And so she takes the thing out of the thing, and she's like, hey, I'm gonna take the thing out of the thing. The thing may talk, or the batteries out of the part that needs the batteries that's malfunctioning. And I'm like, okay. So I'm just sitting there like, what the literal FTF is going on here? And so my mom asked me like all these questions, and I remember that day vividly, the guy telling me that he had upgraded everything and that he was going to take care of it. And I was like, hey, go ahead and upgrade it, because me and mom were debating, because we've had a lot of issues with the security system itself. It will arm itself to a way, and if it arms itself to a way, if you do any movement in the house, it is like the police get called. And every time the police get called and it's not an emergency, your insurance company charges you, because they have to dispatch them out. Okay. My frustration, I'm sorry for my faces. But so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. Really? So I tell the lady, I'm like, hey, this happened, this happened. And sometimes it will arm away or arm to stay, and we're not even near the panel. We're not even near anything. And my key fob is where I can reach it at all times. It's not impeded by anything. It's not in a purse. And it's not being touched by anything. So then I turn around and they're like, well, yesterday the silent alarm went off on da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay. So they're like, well, it was never upgraded when it said it was going to be upgraded. And so me and Mom are just sitting there like, you would think when you tell somebody to upgrade something, they'll do it. And there's been times when, because I work from home, my boss has heard the security system go off, and it is loud, like a but 10 times louder, so you can't hear yourself think. Imagine at 2 o'clock in the morning hearing that noise and being like, oh good God, is somebody trying to break in? No, the security system is malfunctioning. And you're like, what the heck? And you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I'm awake. Let's go ahead and get up because sleep's so overrated. I'm sorry for my rant, guys. I love y'all. But sleep is overrated, so let's get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and just wait until my shift starts at 12. So after that incident today, I looked at Mom and she was like, hey, did he do any upgraded things? And I said no, but I thought he had put the batteries and the smoke detector in the master bedroom, which we are in now. That is my domain. So I'm like, okay. This morning and yesterday, or the day before, where I get a wake-up call. This is not the wake-up call I imagine. You can text me and say good morning, hey, it's time for work, but don't sound the alarm. And there'll be times when we'll be sitting watching a TV show or watching a movie, and it will go and it will be like, hey, I want to malfunction on you and I want to mess with you a little bit and I want to scare the bejesus out of you. And the front door starts acting up and you're like, oh my good God. And you're like, okay. So yeah, and it happened on Halloween, which AKA is my birthday, which AKA is Hallows Eve. Yeah, okay. So me and Mom were watching Halloween, and my mom loves scary movies, and I've started to like them. I didn't like them when I was younger, but I watch them now. So we were watching the Halloween, because every year on the television, it will put out the Halloween trilogy, and you just watch, or saga, or is it a saga? Halloween saga, Halloween trilogy, I don't know. So, so then I'm turning around and we're watching Halloween, and we get to the point where, they're doing, at the first part of the movie, it's cheesy, but it gets, suspenseful. So we're watching the movie and we're sitting there and Michael Myers shows up and we're like, and the system starts going, nah, 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 or the front door, you know how when you press a code and you lock it, or you hit the lock button and it does that, and you're like, okay. So then I turn around and I'm like, okay. And because we've had all the incidences I've told you about, I get kind of leery when our security system is acting up. Okay, because that makes me want to go a mile down the road and be like, hey, Auntie, I'm gonna be living with you because I peace out. Like, seriously. She'd probably told me to go back home and that, and I live by myself 99% of the time, okay? So I am sitting there and I call my mom and she comes over and she's like, and she thought today was Thursday. So she's like, why aren't you at work today? I'm like, it's Wednesday, it's my day off. And she goes, I rushed home because I thought it was Thursday and I thought you were gonna have to go to work. No, Mom, I told you it was Wednesday. You can clearly see on the security system that it says Wednesday. So we get done and I am sitting there and we haven't heard anything yet. I've been able to watch TV without the internet being interrupted. They fixed my internet issue, which I'm thankful for, because other than occasionally freezing my computer itself that I use for work, I haven't had much issues. I'm just trying to get how to notate the notes properly, because we have to notate a lot of stuff. But that is pretty much what I do all day, is talk to people. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, dude. So that was my morning. And I already was going to get up early. I had my alarm set for 6:30 this morning. And I'm going to have my alarm set for tomorrow for 6:30 in the morning. And the rest of the week following out. But yeah, that was my fun experience, and it was not fun. And I was like, and at first I thought Mom was messing with me, and I said, Mom, did you turn on the security system? Because we have this shared thingamajigger where we can do it from like our tablet, or we can do it from the key fob, or we can do it from the panel, and it's just like, yeah, that was my day. That was my day, wholeheartedly what happened. And then I'm sitting there like, you know what I'm saying. But enough of my rant. I'll let you go. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.